A very warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining us here. This is the first step in a long road towards World Cup qualification, Qatar 2022. It's a qualifier. The qualifier, the initial qualifiers, the preliminary round of African qualifying matches. And, well, we've got 28 teams in action. 14 will join the already qualified 26 teams, the highest ranked 26 teams in Africa. So big battles on the cards here. And today we are in Djibouti at the Stade Goulad for this clash between Somalia and Zimbabwe. Well, Bashir Hayford, the Ghanaian coach, is the man in charge. And there's Mr. Alfred Pousri of Chad. Chad is the referee for today's match, with officials also from Chad. Two captains just deciding on who's going to be kicking off and who's going to be going in which direction. Somalia playing in white with Zim in green, of course. Well, there's Mudimu, the captain for this Zimbabwean team, coached by Joey Antipas, a caretaker coach in charge. Of course, Zimbabwe were competing at the Africa Cup of Nations recently. Didn't manage to get out of the group stage and didn't fare too well in a difficult group, of course. But following their return back home, back home to Harare, they found themselves with a coach less, because Sunday Chid Zamgad decided to resign. So they now find themselves with the caretaker coach in Joey Antipas in charge of the Warriors, who are looking to try and beat the Ocean Stars here in a neutral venue, of course, because of civil unrest back home in Somalia. There is a big difference in the rankings of these two nations. The FIFA ranking for Somalia, 202, one of the lowest ranked teams in Africa, just basically because of the fact that they don't play that often, of course, because of the troubles that are taking place back home. They are ranked very low and level with Eritrea, in fact, who lost at home against Namibia yesterday. Well, we're just only moments away from kickoff, of course, and you can see the Somalian team just preparing themselves, getting themselves into a good mindset ahead of this game on artificial surface here. And there's the presidential tribune, of course, at this stadium in Djibouti, as we gear up for this clash, which will be a home and an away match, of course, with the return match in Harare. And sorry, it's not in Harare, to apologize. It's in Bulawayo at Barbersfield Stadium, which is a wonderful stadium, and it's going to be absolutely packed to the rafters. That's on Sunday, the 7th of September, so not a big turnaround, of course, as you can see, but we will see exactly how things pan out here today before the return match. I think it's the 8th of September, in fact, not Saturday, but Sunday. Well, of course, a few neutral fans here in Djibouti, here to see exactly how these two teams fare. Lovers of football. Somalia love their football, don't get me wrong, and obviously it's quite complicated to play back home when you've got a little bit of unrest that's preventing you from playing the sport that you love, but they're still present. And the great news coming out of Somalia recently is the fact that Mogadishu City, one of the biggest clubs in Somalia, actually took place in the qualifying campaign for the Confederations Cup. Now, they didn't get through. Unfortunately, they came up against Malindi of Zanzibar, and they didn't manage to qualify, losing 1-0 over the two legs. So, but still, it was the first time since 1989, 30 years, in fact, that there was a representative from Somalia joining the CAF competitions. A great piece of news coming out of the country after, obviously a lot of negative things that have happened there. But there's still hope, and everything is going well, because the team is here in Djibouti, ready to take on this Zimbabwean team. Zim here, keen to get off onto a good start in this preliminary round. A little bit of pressure there just on the goalkeeper, Zizi. And Zim pushing forward, with the ball coming out wide. Nearly linking up down this left side. Rusike's in the team. He's leading the strike force here. One player that they are missing is Kama Biliat of the Kaiser Chiefs. A wonderful player, of course, but he's just not fit to play this game. Just a little bit too short of fitness. So a big blow for them. But besides that, we've got a really strong team. There's a foul there going for Somalia just inside of the Zim half. A good opportunity for them to try and push the ball forward and show us what they're capable of doing, of course. That's a decent ball over to the left-hand side, just floated over there. Hot temperatures here in Djibouti, of course. And a decent cross coming in that was blocked, finally. And it'll go out for a corner. Somalia will appreciate the fact that they've got themselves a decent attacking opportunity here with a corner over on that far side. Bringing up the big men in an attempt to try and find the back of the net. That would be quite a remarkable scenario for the Ocean Stars. Here's the corner, delivered into the penalty area. There's a good chance there. The ball just flashes past the right post and out of play. It's just going to be a goal kick there for Zizi, the Baroka goalkeeper, South Africa. We saw George Chikova of Polokwane City start all of the matches, I think, down in up in Egypt for the Africa Cup of Nations. Well, a few minutes in, and we're seeing Somalia showing great intent here. They'll be keen to get themselves a decent result. Never qualified for the World Cup, never qualified for Africa Cup of Nations. Very limited competitive action, really. They will be playing qualifiers for Jan 2020. Two defenders just trying to dispossess Monetsi over on that far side. Throw in for Somalia just over in the corner as they try and get rid of the ball. Picked up just inside of their own half, and a long ball over the top as they try and seek out the front man, of course, Rusike, dangerous player, plays for Super Sport. And a free kick quickly taken there by Zim as they push forward. Oh, it's good work in the midfield, and you can see that Zim working hard to try and find a bit of space just to break loose. Let's see what the delivery of this ball is like. Well, it's not good enough, is it? And well marshalled at the back, but that's a bit dangerous. That's a bit of a hospital pass. You don't want to give that back to your goalkeeper. And it looks like they've conceded a corner there just because of, well, irrational thinking, really. Now let's see what Zimbabwe can produce down this left side. See what the delivery is like. Into the penalty area. And over the top. Somalia quite happy trying to clear the ball. And finally they win themselves a free kick 6 minutes in. Pushing forward and trying to find a little bit of space dispossessed in the midfield. This is a good opportunity. Evans Rasike trying to slip the ball through to his teammate. And finally, well, we can see that it hasn't found the back of the net, but they're pushing forward, looking very dangerous on the attack. Zimbabwe, the Warriors, well, are indeed, of course, very dangerous when they push forward. They've got good technical players with Munetsi, Kamasoko, of course, and Rusike up front. Missing, as I mentioned, Kamabiliet. Well, this is a very slick play now. Battling to just try and find a way through the defense. It's going to be a goal kick, just pushing the ball a little bit too far. Somalia quite looking pretty calm at the back. On that occasion, anyway. Need to be a little bit careful. They do have some very talented midfielders, Zimbabwe. They will be looking to try and pinch the ball and to be bullish in the middle. Well, that was a wild pass over to the right-hand side, quite easily picked up. By Kamasoko. And Nazim, as I said, bossing the midfield. They've got options as well. Cross coming in, headed away quite comfortably. Somalia's defence holding fort for the time being. That's a good through ball. The flick maybe a little bit too sneaky, but got back up onto his feet so well. Gets the ball out to the left-hand side. Now let's see what Somalia can do. There's a shot that's been teed up, and it's not bad at all. Straight at the goalkeeper, Chipazeze, but just showing us what Somalia are capable of doing, and that they have to be sharp. And it's true that when Joey Antipas was talking about their opponents this week, he was saying that we can't take them lightly. Of course, every team has a chance, and these nations who qualify, of course, for who have come into these qualifiers, got nothing to lose. Some of the lower-ranked teams, of course. Well, Zimbabwe, we really do expect to push forward and take this match back to Bulawayo with an advantage. Of course, Somalia unable to play in Mogadishu, but they seem to have some good support here. Just getting behind them as they go in search of that elusive goal against a well-organized team, a team that know how to play big competitions. Zimbabwe may not have qualified for the World Cup, of course, but they They've managed to play in a few Africa Cup of Nations, 2004 in Tunisia and then in Egypt in 2006, and then back-to-back qualifications, 2017, Gabon, and then this year in Egypt. This year it was a little bit easier in qualification just because of the format change, with 16 teams moving to 24. The ball passed back to Chipazeze. Cleared immediately. No more danger. Ball picked up there by Bashir Hayford. He's the Ghanaian man in charge with the white polo shirt there. Former Hearts of Lions coach Asante Kotoko, Ashanti Gold, and the women's Ghanaian national team. Been given the job for 2 years to try and work on this Somalian team, having replaced Mohamed Abdullah Farayare. So the target is the Chan qualifiers and those important matches that will get them a place in next year's competition. High ball up to towards Rusike, and it finally goes out. There's a chance. It's not going to be a long-range shot. They want to just construct and work some good running. There's the delivery into the penalty box. There's a chance for a shot. Oh, that was very close. The flag stayed down as well. And Zim were on the verge of finding the back of the net. The connection wasn't good, though, I'm afraid. And in the 13th minute, just thought that Joey Antipas's team could have broken the deadlock and silenced the Somalian fans that are here in Djibouti. Good slick work. It's fine, intricate passing that's taking place here, with some wonderful work down the right-hand side. Can he get his crossover? Well, he does do a great job there. I think it was Kamasoko. Sorry, it was Munetsi. Kamasoko in the midfield there with the long dreads. Somalia not fazed by the fact that Zim are playing some intricate technical football and spreading the ball over to the right-hand side themselves. That's a good ball. No, it's not. It's gone a little bit too far. Not to feet. Well, it's entertaining opening 14 minutes played here. Well, they're giving the ball away. Oh, there's a chance. That was a poor pass there. What are they going to try and do? There are players moving into positions here. It's opened up. The shot comes in. Oh, it's a scuffed effort there that didn't really test the goalkeeper. Watched on by the Somalian bench, of course, who are just waiting and hoping that they can get a goal. On that occasion, it was Zim who were coming close. Defensive error there. Didn't manage to get themselves the good scoring opportunity. Well, they got the scoring opportunity, they just didn't cement it and get it sealed. Somalia just having an issue there. And good work. Good work by Musque over on that far side. It's going to be a free kick. And good use of the pitch with Kamasoko. Slipping the ball out wide to Lunga. That's not bad, but the header over the top was always going to be met by a defender. And there's a free kick. A free kick for Somalia. Zimbabwe having a bit of a headache at the Africa Cup of Nations, of course, when the players threatened to boycott their matches. Nice little crowd here for this match played on neutral ground here in Djibouti. Yeah, Zimbabwe threatened to boycott playing matches over non-payments of allowances. It just kind of gave... took their attention away, their focus away from, oh, this is brilliant play down the left-hand side, but it's just gone a little bit too far away from Lunga. He's dangerous when he gets the ball at his feet. Dispossessed and back to the goalkeeper if he wants. No. Over to the other side. You've got Medimu and Firi, Highlanders player, back from injury, 3 months out. Picked up in the midfield with Kamasoko. Lunga, nice turn. Oh, he just gets taken out by the midfielder, Somalia. A little change of flanks there, 17.5 minutes gone, and we can see Zimbabwe very happy pushing forward. That's a cross that's come over, but it was just a little bit too far away from Rusike, the goalkeeper, taking it quite easily. Nice ball, very well played. Oh, he's gone down. That's no free kick, says the referee. And a bit disappointing for Somalia. Thought that they had got themselves a chance on the edge of the penalty box, but the referee says no. And now they're just pegged back in their own corner of the pitch, kicking the ball out. It's going to be a throw-in for Zim. Lunga's got the ball there. He'll logically take the throw-in, wait for a little bit of support. The Golden Arrows player. Picking the ball up down the left-hand side. Lunga again. Just losing a bit of control. He's under a little pressure. He's got good skills. Tries to get past his man. This is neat play. Very slick play. Now he's going to take on a second Somalian defender. Finally decides to go against it. And the ball has been cleared. And picked up by Kamasoko. Is a chance for a long-range effort. Takes the deflection and the goalkeeper will smother that without any issues. Oh, very well done over on the right-hand side. That was smooth play by Rusike. The ball comes out to the right. Now, what can they do? The ball is going to be passed over. Rusike comes in. Oh, it's in the back of the net. What a save, but I think that there's an infringement there. You can just see that the referee's blowed the whistle. The linesman raised his flag, and it comes to nothing finally, but that was deadly stuff. That was... And a golden opportunity there for Zimbabwe. Muskwe was there lingering at the very end of that to try and latch on to the loose ball. Foul had already been committed. Long ball upfield. Somalia go chasing for the goalkeeper, comes out, stays in his zone there. Chipazizi does really, really well there. The Polokwane City player. 21 minutes into this qualifying match. Played over 2 legs, of course, in the space of just a few days. Very good build-up play here from Somalia. And Somalia just slipping the ball out wide. God, they've just given it away, though. Masoko has it now, and there's a chance for them to push forward. Let's see how slick the passing is. They need to be meticulous here, Zim, if they want to really prize open that Somalian defence. I'm quite happy playing the ball back to bring in new players, more players. Lunga's out wide. The ball will come to him. Not afraid in taking players on, that's for sure. Ball comes to Kamasoko. That's a good slick pass as well. Lunga. Will he get the ball back to Muskwe? Watch out for Rusike. That's gone over the top. Oh, what a poor clearance. Oh, Kamasoko really working hard. He's so physical, isn't he? Really difficult player to keep the ball from when he's on you. Forces you into making errors. That's what he's good at. There you go. That's exactly what he does, but he just gets hit and he goes down. It's a bit of a slap to the face. It was accidental, of course, just because of his physical prowess in the midfield. Free kick it is with Mudimu, the captain, who's come up to take it. And it might be Kamasoko who's going to play it, the Tanzanian-based player. Referee just waiting for okay, giving them the green light now. Here it is, lofted high. It's gone very high. There's the nod, the header over the top, the little flick. It's still there. There's a chance for a shot. It's blasted directly at the Somalian defender midfielder. It goes off for a corner. And the pressure cooker situation continues here for Somalia in their own penalty box. And going over to take the corner is Mahashi. Zimbabwe, good delivery, great header as well, but it's just not on target. But it was good running. You have to go and greet those kind of corners before anybody at the front post can get anywhere near them. That was a good run. I think it was Munetsi who came across. She couldn't get the right angle in at the other end. Well, the quick, the long ball upfield. Nearly catching out Zim at the back, but no. There's Firi. Back to Kamasoko. And the lofted ball over the top. It's headed out towards down the right side. And the clearance takes the deflection. Is that still in play? I think it is. And the referee says, play on. There's a chance for a header. Well, that was an opportunity. They should have exploited that. I think the Somalian players were not understanding why the referee didn't call for a free kick after that challenge. Well, He's down after that challenge, and he's in some pain, isn't he, after the block, of course, which makes sense. And Mohamed in some pain here. He's one of the most experienced players in the back line, Mohamed Sharif. But that was a major block, of course, and it just sends the vibrations right through the bones. Never easy. He's in quite a lot of pain, and sometimes you get small fractures, of course. Let's hope that it's not that, but he really is in some pain there. Well, 25 and a half minutes in. And it just gives the both teams the chance to have a bit of water, a bit of a break here, just to talk to their managers. Just remember, it's very, very hot down in Djibouti, 36 degrees, a little bit of wind, the humidity around about 50%, but 36 degrees, yeah, you need to drink water. He's back up on his feet, which is great news. The question is, will he be okay to carry on? The players on the bench for Zimbabwe, we've got Talbot Shumba, Teenage Hadebe of the Kaiser Chiefs, of course, the defender, really strong player. Tichauna Chapunza as well. Sifu Nadlovu. And Phineas Bamusi, Clive Augusto, Knox Mutizwa. We're back in business, and Zimbabwe picking the ball up in the midfield. It's neatly done just to spread the ball out wide, little chip over the top. You've got Rizike looking to try and get hold of that. Oh, there's some good work in the midfield there, and just to retrieve the ball. But they need to push forward a little bit. They're slightly more on the defensive. Too many players in their own half. They need to push up a little bit. This is a better play. They've got technical players in this squad. Don't get me wrong. You only have to look at players like Islam Ferouz and Mukhtar Ali, who are just great players that have come out of Somalia. The trouble is that most of the players have to leave the country, of course, to continue playing in a league that's continual. Lunga tries to get the ball to his teammate Kamasoko. Here is Lunga. Ball goes back to Mudimu, who's the captain, plays in Wales for Cefn Druids. Took part in the Africa Cup of Nations, of course. Oh, it's working well. He had his jersey pulled there. And it will be a free kick. Rasuike is the player who wins the free kick on the left-hand side. Lunga will take it. Evans Rasuike, the 29-year-old, one of the experienced players in this squad, will be looking to, well, just latch onto this. We know how dangerous Lunga is when with his delivery. Watch out for Kamasoko. And I think he's back on the pitch, which is great news, Mohamed. After treatment, he seems to be okay. Here's the delivery, Lunga. Zimbabwe looking to try and break the deadlock. There it goes. Oh, it's a little bit too close to the goalkeeper there. Parried away, but it's still Zimbabwe who have possession. Teasing and provoking the Somalian defenders over on that far side and doing a pretty good job at it, Mahashi. Throw in it is. Well, finally, Mohammed is being replaced there by another player called Ali Mohammed. So it's obviously a little bit more serious than we thought, unfortunately. Hopefully he'll be fit for the return leg in Bulawayo. Somalia win the ball back as the throwing up the line. Neatly done. Tidied up. And now a little bit of a wander into space. Just playing a little bit too deep, aren't they? They need to push forward a little bit. They're just allowing Zimbabwe to put a bit of pressure on them until they actually lose possession. And that's just risky business. That's a good way of conceding a goal. But there again, at the other end, you can see that they're working really hard. And Somalia now in possession. And just teasing this Zimbabwe defense. Giving themselves a good scoring opportunity. There's the chip over the top. There's no one on the end of it. Lunga's there. His clearance is a big smashing high kick that takes the ball just over the paint. It's going to be a throw in there. And a throw in for Somalia deep in Zim territory. 33 minutes into the first half. Still no goals to talk about here at the Stade Hulad in Djibouti. And a long throw towards the front man. There it is. Oh, that was a golden opportunity. He claims that his shirt was pulled and he was held back. He wasn't able to latch onto that, the centre forward for Somalia. Oh, fantastic battling there. That's a good opportunity. This is with Kimasoko. Ball's put on his left foot. Into the penalty box they go. There's the build-up play. Cross into the penalty box. Headed away. Lunga picks it up. Ball does come out wide. It's been picked up here with a good delivery into the penalty box, which, oh, it's off the back. Well, that's a gimme, that is. And finally, the ball just stabbed away and off target. And Zimbabwe just given a good scoring chance there with the ball coming off the back of the central defender. But luckily, Somalia continue to breathe a sigh of relief as they once again stop that ball from going in, or just watch Zimbabwe unable to actually hit the target. Well, two teams with big ambitions here, and lively players who are technically gifted as well. This is a very entertaining game so far. Wonderful shot coming in, but it's just a little bit wide. The strike was clean. Didn't have that much power behind it, but still a good effort. And that's what they want to be doing, just testing the Zimbabwe goalkeeper, Chipazeze. The only way you're going to find the back of the net is by testing the goalkeeper. But I think that we're lacking a little bit of accuracy with the shots that have already been taken here in this opening 35 minutes of this qualifying match for the FIFA World Cup, Qatar 2022. Zimbabwe drawn in the Africa Cup of Nations group, the qualifying group with Algeria, Zambia, Botswana in Group H. That was the draw was made just a few days before the final of the Africa Cup of Nations, when we saw Algeria beat Senegal in the final. 1-0, of course, the final score. That early goal scored by the Desert Foxes at the International Stadium in Cairo. Munetsi gets the ball to Mahashi. Here's Kamasoko out wide to Lunga. Lunga trying to get across, and oh, he gets past his man. Now is a good scoring opportunity. Was that left foot of his? Oh, it's so close. And it's gone back to Lunga. I don't know how the ball managed to get back out there. I think it was the defender who just got to it. And a chance for a long-range effort. It's been teed up beautifully. Lunga's there if he wants to get the ball back to his teammate. I'm talking about Munetsi, of course. That was a good scoring opportunity. You got to take your chances as well. I think the Somalia are probably more opportunist than Zim at the moment in the way that they have tried to shoot from different positions on the edge of the penalty box, whereas I think that Zimbabwe need to basically not mess around and really just test the goalkeeper to get those shots in to see what he's like and get the lay of the land. At the moment, it's not really the case. They're just providing us with some silky skills that not really leading us to anything. Being pragmatic sometimes can be your best bet on the pitch, especially if you're being you're locked in an arm wrestle. There's the clearance there. Somalia just pushing the ball upfield. It's Monetsi's control not great. Kamasoko doing well. Lunga always looking to try and find a bit of space out on this left flank, making himself available. And we know what his skill set is like. This is a neat play with a bit of space, the intricate passing. Yeah, it's attractive to the eye. Now let's see what they can actually do here. And they decide to go make the pass back. Let's see what the movement's like in the penalty box. The ball is taking a bit of a crazy bounce there. Lunga's there if they want to use him. Picks the ball up on the left-hand side. That's his cross coming in. It's not a bad one either. But the Somalian defence just well organised at the moment. Just over 5 minutes to go before the end of the first half. And again, the Ocean Stars pushing forward, winning a free kick in Zim territory. No, it's a free kick, in fact. And again, oh, that's a strong challenge there, but nothing wrong with it at all. Knocked off his feet completely. Oh, that's dangerous play, that is. You can't do that, and they've given the ball away, but the foul has been committed there by Kamasoko. It's a bit of a shame there for the young Africans player, because just made the little clip of the heels, basically, to bring down the defender. then afterwards it was quite easy for the linesman to see that it was a foul, the referee as well. Free kick up into enemy territory. See, they are not getting pushed off the ball. It's a little bit disappointing, that is, for Somalia. They are physical players. They know how to handle themselves. And Bashir Hayford knows that there's talent in this squad. And well, good to see Mogadishu City, of course, taking part in the Confederations Cup. But I think that we can also look at the national team and how they're faring. And they're playing some good football. Lunga with the header. That's gone all the way straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. It's not an issue. Free kick it is, and Lunga will take it. Lunga, and the ball back to Mudimu. Kamasoko into the midfield with Ahashi. Kamasoko, little chip over the top. There's no one there. And there's no flick on to anybody. That was just not the perfect pass upfield. 2 minutes to go. Zimbabwe being held by Somalia. Or Somalia being held by Zimbabwe. Look at it the way that you like. I think that we can most definitely say that these two teams, they have strong arguments in who should be bossing each other. Two teams with quality players on the pitch. Zimbabwe not clinical enough for the time being. May not have taken part in the in Africa Cup of Nations or World Cup, of course, but they played in the FIFA Cup on many times. The group stages 25 times, in fact, and that's pretty impressive in itself. But of course, you know, that's the local eastern part of the continent competition. So you don't. It's not about qualifying, really. It's just about playing those matches in that competition rather than going through a process like we have here. But I think that when you see what we witnessed in terms of teams that really did produce some great results at this year's Africa Cup of Nations, some of the teams that maybe we didn't think would push forward in the way that they did. Talking about Madagascar, of course, as being one of them. I think we can most definitely say that there's a place for these smaller nations that haven't produced grandiose campaigns in big competitions for them to do something. So why not Somalia? Why not? They've got themselves a free kick. It's, well, from quite a way out, 30, 35 meters, but maybe they'll try their hand at the long-range shot. Now, an opportunity from, let's see what their dead ball specialists are like. This is on the cusp of half-time, so won't be too much of added time. I imagine 2 minutes maybe. Free kick opportunity for Somalia. And the referee pushing back the Zim wall an extra yard as they were encroaching on the 10-meter. Here's the free kick coming in now. Somalia looking to try and find the back of the net. Well, that wasn't bad at all. That was very close. And that was a rasping effort, hit with some force as well, and only about a meter wide. Zimbabwe live for another day. 2 minutes into added time now, nearly. And quite a well-balanced game so far. You can see that Somalia are very keen and very busy in the midfield, very active, chasing absolutely everything, which is great to see. Marking's not too bad. Might not have the, they can't match up with Zimbabwe with some of the players who've got fine technical skills, but in any case, I think that they are putting up a good performance so far with in the first half, holding Zim. Tidied up in the midfield, and very well done. It's the high ball. It's just been met there by Dimu. Here's Risike. Longa. I'll change of flanks. That's not a good ball because it's been cut out. Somalia, long ball once again, down into the corner this time. Well, you're not going to get past the captain, Mudimu. He is so strong in the air. Lunga tidies things up. Is that going out? I think it is. I've got 2 minutes of added time normally, so... There's the half-time whistle here in Djibouti at the Stade Guled. We don't have any goals to talk about here between Somalia and Zimbabwe. Goalless after 45 minutes between Bashir Hayford's Somalia, the Ocean Stars, and Joey Antipas's Warriors of Zimbabwe. But an interesting game and a very entertaining game between two teams who'd like to play. We're going to take a break. Second half coming up soon. Again here at the Stade Khaled in Djibouti. It's the second half. Somalia up against Zimbabwe. Just got the images back, so apologise for the inconvenience. No goals have been scored in the second half, but I think that we can see that this high-profile encounter between these two nations who are on a long and very treacherous quest to try and qualify for the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 in the first preliminary round in Africa have spilled the fine form of and the tenacity into this second half already, with Somalia pushing forward, looking very dangerous indeed because they got such pace and they've got great verve and swagger as they push forward. On that occasion, just having the Zimbabwean defenders just prevent them from taking it a little bit further. Got support coming up. Finding a bit of space. Zimbabwe were finding space in the first half. They looked dangerous. Is Lunga working really hard over on that far side. Gets the ball back to Mudimu, clears the ball upfield. Lunga goes down. And the referee, quick to talk to the Somalian players to calm things down. He's clutching his ankle, quite distressed, but he should be okay. There was contact, of course, but he seems to be okay. Here's the Golden Arrows player who will leave the free kick to his teammate. Control down the left-hand side there with Rasike, Evans Rasike. Tees the ball back, gets it back to his teammate there. And let's see, there you can see. Premier Tour de la Qualification, Coupe du Monde, FIFA Qatar, there you go. In French. Here in Djibouti, of course. We got a free kick here after that challenge on Muskwe, who's the player who's been pushing forward and just helping out. Rasike just in front of Mahashi as well, the Pirates player, and this is a good opportunity for Mahashi, who's going to use that left foot of his. Let's see if he can find one of his teammates. There it is. It goes over the top, and it's not being cleared just yet. The shot comes in. It's been blocked. And another effort, Lunga, and that's gone wide as well by a couple of meters. Just couldn't get it on target, which has been the story so far of this Zimbabwean performance. Good possession, good position. And good opportunities, but they can't seem to find the back of the net. The shooting hasn't been too meticulous and lacking accuracy, but they have given themselves lots of scoring opportunities. And the ball once again finds Zimbabwe. Here they are looking to try and find the back of the net. Oh, what a wonderful save that was from Ahmed. And he comes to the rescue. Excellent play there. The control was fantastic, I must admit, by Mahashi, and his shot coming in, forcing Ahmed to parry the ball away. And he had the entire goal to choose from, and he decides to go at the near post rather than the far post where there was plenty of space. The corner comes in. There's the delivery. And a volley clearance at the front post there coming from Mohamed. And the throw-in, which will be taken there. Another throw in here for the Orlando Pirates. Midfielder Mahashi goes long into the penalty box. Well, there's an overhead opportunity there that was taken, and why not? Munetsi. Zimbabwe continue to push forward. Now they're prizing open. They're looking very dangerous on the attack. There's a chance for a shot coming in. Oh, it's Hashi there. Just don't know if that was the right decision. Oh, the foot went up quite high. That's great skills. Oh, look at the skills. Just couldn't get past the last man. And there's a player down, 2 players who went down. Of course, you can see that Mahashi's back up on his feet. And but the Somalian defender, Mohammed's down on the ground and having a bit of an issue there because of the challenge between the 2 players. Nothing malicious, it was just the collision between the 2 players. Well, the other match that's taking place, which is also the first match of 2, Chad entertaining Sudan. Well, Sudan 3-0 up. They are beating Chad away from home with about 7 minutes to play there. And Agab scoring a goal in the 13th minute with 2 more goals coming in the second half through the same player in the 67th minute. And he goes for a hat-trick, of course, in the 74th. So a hat-trick, in fact, I'm hearing about it as I'm telling it to you. Agab with a hat-trick for Sudan. Quite remarkable scenario there. Away to Chad, which obviously sets them up perfectly when they go back home to Khartoum to take on Chad in the return leg. Ball pass back to the goalkeeper, Chipazizi. It's not a great clearance, and it's given Somalia the chance. They need to get the shot in. That's not bad at all. And the ball falls loose. The clearance is not good, but finally blasted away. And up the other end, you can see that there is danger, but that's a very good defensive header back to his goalkeeper, Ahmed. And Dek does a sterling job there just to diffuse the danger and prevent the fireworks from happening at the wrong end of the pitch. That's a good slick passing once again from Zimbabwe, just slicing open the defence. Don't know if that was the right pass, just a blind back flick into no man's land. Not the right decision. Here's Lunga taking the free kick there into the path of Firi. Picking the ball up here. This is a good opportunity here to deliver a decent cross into the penalty box. Once again, it's just being lost, and it's gone out for not even a goal kick. It's going to be a free kick from the challenge from the Zimbabwean player. Free kick it is. Somalia thumped upfield. Well, that's gone very deep. That might have gone a little bit too far, or not. Well, they've won the corner. That's very slick play. Just blocks there by Firi. And finally actually went out and over. Oh, the long-range effort. Blasted away by the Somalian central defender. And the little header up there just to keep the ball in play, tidied up by Firi, a Highlanders player. Back to Chipazizi. Another plenty of South African-based players in this Zim squad. That's a good ball, isn't it? But again, the goalkeeper, Ahmed, in the right position. It's not a bad performance so far for Somalia here in neutral territory here at Djibouti. Zimbabwe again pushing forward, waiting to... it's just not the right shot, is it? Tried to fool the goalkeeper. Just don't think that's the right way of trying to breach the back line. You've really got to do something a little bit different. Found that was a little bit mundane, really. A low shot, just... the fact is that they're actually taking shots, which is obviously, you know, the orders coming from Bashir Hayford, the Ghanaian coach at the helm of this Somalian squad. But Joey Antipas for Zimbabwe, of course, you know, doing the same thing. The order is, let's get shots in, let's test the goalkeeper. If we don't, then we won't know exactly what's going to happen. That's a brilliant piece of play. Can they get the shot in? That's a brilliant shot as well, but the flag went up for offside. Straight at the goalkeeper, Chipazizi holds it. And we will have another change. Abdul Kadir will go off. He's played his part in this match so far. Very busy down that right side, but Zimbabwe pushing forward here with Kamasoko. Kamasoko, there's the delivery just in front of the goalkeeper. Well, he takes it. He didn't take it well. He just had a second chance there, didn't he, Ahmed? Quite fortunate, to be perfectly frank with you. That's a good touch. It's a very good touch. It's a chance to try. Oh, it's going to be a free kick. No, he wasn't brought down, says the referee. Play on. And they launch a quick counter-attack. Lunga's coming back to defend, and it really just depends. Oh, this is great play. Oh, he's still got the ball. Somalia with a shot. It's a follow-up as well. Brilliant save coming from Chipazizi. Two wonderful saves. And to be honest with you, he's very, very fortunate because, well, it was spilled out of his hands, and the follow-up was a good effort as well coming in from Mohamed. But they still didn't manage to get the goal and fire past Chipazizi, who's the hero for Zim for the moment. And there's a corner for the Warriors at the other end. And a yellow card that's been distributed there to Dek. So fortunate the way that he just managed to keep the ball at his feet. It's a free kick rather than a corner from for that challenge there. After the quick counter. And now Rasike is there. You can see Kamasoko. Kamasoko with that right foot of his maybe wants to bend one in. And I think you need to have a lot of movement from the players in the penalty area and go and make sure that you mark the goalkeeper, because he's spilled the ball on a few occasions. And if you want to tidy up, that's where you want to be. He's causing a bit of a nuisance around the 6-yard area. Let's see what the movement's like. Kamasoko with the shot. It goes in. It's a beautiful effort as well, and it's not far off inside netting. And it was just parried away, offering a corner for Zimbabwe. Kamasoko, the young Africans player. No one at the far post. There it is. It's a good, the delivery, not brilliant. And the header just straight at a Somalian player. That's not an excellent ball, is it? Lacking a bit of accuracy there. Kamasoko's not going to go for that ball after it was headed in his direction from Dzvukamja. He's being ordered to go back a bit. Well, Joey Antipas will be happy if his team score a goal here, the caretaker coach for the Warriors. He is the, but at the moment they got to be careful. The Somalian team mean business. That's not a bad, no, it's not a good 1-2, is it? That was lacking the accuracy. Pass back wasn't perfect. Zimbabwe pushing forward. And Kamasoko doing, whoa, he's just left the ball. That was well read, and that's exactly what you want from your midfielders, just pushing up, or even from your defenders who are just pushing up into a good, dangerous position. That's a beautiful ball back, and Lunga's going to concede the... no, it's going to be a goal kick, in fact. And Antipas, the PSL winning coach, working with Tondarai Ndiraya and Lloyd Chitembwe, and alongside him. Oh, they need to be careful here. Get rid of the danger. If in doubt, leave it out. Just get rid of it. Cheeky. They've also got Tembo Chuma as the new goalkeepers coach for the senior team as well of the Highlanders. So a poor run in the Africa Cup of Nations, of course, brought the end to Sunday Chidzamga's campaign, and brought in this new team that are trying to guide Zimbabwe into the future. This is their first match with this new group of staff in position. Cross coming over from Firi. Running out of their own half. Looking dangerous, Somalia. There's a good ball to be passed there. That's a fantastic pass. Now is an opportunity. Somalia. Oh, he unselfishly gets the ball across. That's a great shot, but it's not on target. And Mohammed getting the ball to Khalid, and it should have been in the back of the net. And I'm afraid that was a golden opportunity, but maybe he should have gone for goal. First of all, down the left-hand side. Well, this is just a reminder for all of the people watching to actually go to prayer, of course. We'll be back in a short moment. Welcome back to the Stade Khalid in Djibouti here. We've joined the match just with 21 minutes to go in the second half. Still goalless here between Somalia and Zimbabwe. The Ocean Stars and the Warriors for this preliminary qualifying match here in Djibouti before the return leg that will take place in Bulawayo, Barbersfield Stadium. That wonderful stadium that will be packed to the rafters, I'm sure, on Sunday, the 7th of September. It's going to be a massive, massive match for Zimbabwe. But Somalia at the moment showing us what they're capable of doing. This is a great performance, holding Zim, of course, the 112th ranked team in the world, with Somalia, one of the lowest ranked teams in the world, alongside Eritrea, 202. Well, there will be a moment before the players get back onto the pitch. Of course, 35 degrees. It's very, very hot down here in Djibouti, of course, so it makes life very complicated. So a water break, very well appreciated for the officials and the two teams. Before we get down to business for the final 20 minutes. And that's going to be a riveting final 20 minutes between these two nations as they go in search of that all-elusive goal. Though we've seen numerous scoring opportunities with Chipazeze coming to the rescue for Zimbabwe with two wonderful smothered saves to prevent Somalia from taking the lead. So this has been quite fine entertainment between these two nations. A big battle taking place in the midfield. Two physical teams. The superior technical ability of Zimbabwe on occasions, but sometimes being matched by Somalia, which is wonderful to see as well. It seems that Somalia play away from home, of course, at the moment because of the unrest back home. So. This match being played here in Djibouti, and what we've seen so far, I think it's a great advert for Somalian football, I must admit, and I've been very, very well impressed. And that's great news, and it's great to see. So let's hope that continues. Zimbabwe, of course, coming into this competition, having played in the Africa Cup of Nations, but not doing too well, to be honest with you. Their 3 matches ended with just 1 single point. They lost against the hosts Egypt, fractionally, in the opening game of the competition at the International Stadium in Cairo. 1-1 against the Cranes of Uganda. And then a 4-0 drubbing at the hands of the Democratic Republic of Congo, which was quite severe, in fact, for Zim. And it brought the end to Sunday Zamga's campaign, of course, which means that well, we've got new men in charge with Joey Antipas. They need to try and get themselves the right result. And it all starts here. So in any case, we're going to have a change here coming up with Clive Augusto, who's going to come on. We'll see who he comes on to replace. But you can see it's a good delivery there with the clearance made by Mohamed. Kamasoko leaves the ball. And there's the shot coming in, and it's not a good one, is it? Coming in from Bamusi, I think, who's come on. Let's see who he replaced. Well, there's it's not Chipunza. Chipunza's not even on the pitch, I think. So we have to get that right. Clive Augusto is coming on for a player who's actually sat next to him on the bench. So the fourth official needs to get that right before we can continue. Ball goes down into the corner. It's going to be a throw in there. Now we have the change that's going to happen, and it's Clive Augusto who's going to come on for Musque. There's the change. So Maritzburg United just signing him from Chicken Inn. 26-year-old forward. Zimbabwe's leading marksman, 14 goals last season for the KwaZulu-Natal outfit. He's the second Zimbabwean player to play for Maritzburg, following the arrival of Gabriel Nioni, snapped up just before the new season. Well, 15 minutes to go, and plenty of time for a goal to be scored. Long ball pumped upfield. Again, using a style of play where they're just literally trying to catch out that back line. And on occasions, just going right through the middle and showing us how skillful they are. But predominantly goes straight up over the top. Of course, we've seen that numerous times. Hasn't really worked for them. And Madua gets the ball out to Mahashi. Well, of course, under a little bit of pressure, just blasts the ball into the stands. Mohamed, the centre-back, didn't really have many options there. Big battle taking place. Oh, he's gone down. The referee says no penalty, of course. He just clattered into a couple of players. It's a long-range effort. Kamasoko! What a beautiful effort that was, and the save matched it. Ahmed come to the rescue there with a beautiful stop, but didn't he hit it with fine force? That was a solid drive there from outside of the penalty area from the young Africans player. And that's exactly what you need. Those very firmly struck shots to test the goalkeeper. Well, they're continuing to put a bit of pressure on this Somalian defence. They've got a corner now. There's the delivery at the front post again. It's kicked away. It's been a common occurrence for Somalia. Well, they don't even allow the ball to get itself over into the danger zone. Picked up here by Ferry. Ferry's effort is blocked. Ferry again, bit of space. Can he get past his man? Does well to get the ball back. There's the cross coming in. Oh, it took a wicked bounce there. And I think that's going to be a corner. It did come off a defender. Another corner taken by Orlando Pirates, Mahashi. This time it goes over right to the far post. That was beautifully struck. That's exactly where you want to target. That area there, the goalkeeper came out, the ball flew over the top. Now he's gone down, Ahmed, and he's in a spot of bother. Just collided with one of his defenders, I believe, and that's what caused the pain. Just went down quite badly, just maybe got an elbow in his leg or something. He's back up on his feet. No, he's not. Well, who's going to score the goal in this clash? Will there be a goal? Now, we know that on Sunday afternoon, it's going to be a very entertaining match if it stays like this in Bulawayo Barbersfield Stadium. We saw FC Platinum, of course, take on Orlando Pirates. Massive game that was. And, of course, there's a lot of South African football supporters in Zimbabwe. And one of the top teams being Pirates, of course. Yeah, we got 10 minutes to go, and we still don't have any goals scored here in Djibouti. More matches coming tomorrow. Lots of qualifiers taking place, of course. Tomorrow, what have we got? I think we've got 2 matches that will take place. And we have Gambia up against Angola and the Comoros against Togo. So Gambia, Angola in Bako. And the capital of Gambia, of course, Comoros and Togo, and playing in Comoros in Moroni, and that wonderful stadium there that's with just off the beach on those islands just northwest of Madagascar, off the East African coast. Togo coached by Claude Loire, who obviously wasn't at the Africa Cup of Nations last summer, but he was working as a TV pundit. Spoke to him on a couple of occasions. Still a very wise and sought-after coach, of course. And the Palancha Negras of Angola, well, very well positioned, and the football's improving. The federation is stable. They've got things working. They're working with a lot of youngsters. It's starting to take shape. There'll be a great nation coming through in the next few years, bringing some good quality youngsters through the different age groups. Be a difficult match for them playing away to Gambia, but they'll fancy their chances. Free kick it is for Somalia. Khalid on the left-hand side will pick up a yellow card for time wasting. The message is pretty clear. 7.5 minutes to go. Somalia looking to try and find the back of the nets. There it is, the high ball that's gone to the edge of the penalty area. But Lunga's there, and he'll clear the ball quite comfortably. There's a bit of a battle in the midfield to try and gain possession, take control. Oh, that's going to be a free kick for sure. And Lunga will pick up a yellow card for that. And he knows that he's at fault. And the Golden Arrows player in the referee's books there for that late challenge. Saturday there are also there's also another match being played. It's Botswana against Malawi in Francistown. And then, of course, on Sunday we have lots of matches. Lesotho, Ethiopia, Zimbabwe against Somalia, of course, the return match. And Burundi against Tanzania against Burundi. Finished 1-1 yesterday. Liberia 3-1 up against Sierra Leone. Here's the free kick, headed away very comfortably. I think they want him to... Is he going to have to take that again, maybe? Oh, we got changes, in fact. Zvukamja goes off. And we have a A change with let's see who came on actually. I think it's Talbot Shumba. Oh, that was very close indeed. A couple of players going up for that. Somalia with a chance to try and get that goal. 5 minutes left to play here in Djibouti. There's the delivery at the far post. There's no one there. It's headed away by a Zimbabwean player. Oh, they've stolen it. This is dangerous. Zimbabwe pushing forward. It's 3 against 1. There's a bit of a block going on. There's the shot. Oh, he saved it. Ahmed comes to the rescue. But it's not over yet. But the players are coming back in numbers. The cavalry has arrived. And now they're... Oh, the ball's been toe poked back to the goalkeeper, Ahmed. Well. I think that maybe slightly too selfish there. That should have been a pass out wide. But they didn't move very well when they were going up. And I think that there was a bit of a block, so maybe it was the right decision to go for the shot. But I think the goalkeeper did a great job in just blocking and just covering a large area just around him. And at the other end, Somalia with the cross here. There's the header. Oh, I don't believe it. Somalia have found the back of the net. That is quite incredible. But the ball's come out of the net, but they found the back of the net, and it all happened so quickly. A remarkable turnaround. Only moments after Zimbabwe looked as though they'd actually they were going on to score. Somalia find that goal. And it's a header that finds the back of the net, beating the goalkeeper, Chipazizi. An incredible scenario here. And the home side, if you like to say, here in Djibouti, have taken the lead. Well, this is a very important goal, isn't it, for Somalia? Zimbabwe can't believe it. Look how much time is left to play. And the crowd here, small crowd, but a very noisy crowd, most definitely jumping with joy. It came out of the blue, but at the same time, they've been lucky not to concede Zimbabwe with a couple of good scoring opportunities from Khalid and Mohammed. Well, now they've got themselves a free kick, as you can see, with Augusto going down, the Maritzburg player. Well, what a scenario we have here. Somalia, of course, never played in Africa Cup of Nations. We've seen Zimbabwe play in numerous competitions, but they find themselves now not in a great position, although they do have the return leg, of course. So 1-0 is not going to be too much of an issue, I think. But they can't afford to concede a second one. So their best bet is to try and iron out the crease here with this free kick with 2 minutes to play. Kamasoko, with that right foot of his, is probably the best bet. And there again, Rusike knows how to find the back of the net as well. Mahashi is also just hanging around the ball. We'll see what happens. Mahashi or Kumasoko? I think it's Kumasoko, who will try and test the goalkeeper, try and get that goal, that elusive goal that's evaded them for the entire game. A late equaliser. Here's the effort going in. There's the shot. Oh, it's straight at the goalkeeper from Mahashi, but not a badly struck free kick, in fact, from the Orlando Pirates man. And Ahmed sends the ball out into touch. So we have a throw-in. And Mahashi trying to stir up a reaction. There's only 30 seconds remaining before the minutes of added time. And Zimbabwe, they could fall to the lowest ranked football team in the world. They've never played Somalia, so they've never managed to lose against them, obviously. Now they find themselves in a position where they might lose. If it stays like this, we'll see how much added time there is. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes, maybe a bit more. Surely not more than 4. Can't afford to concede another goal, surely. Here's Mohamed. Well, this is a surprise result if it stays like this. For Zimbabwe, they'll be happy that it's over 2 matches. Of course, it'll give them hope going into the return match in Bulawayo. But it puts a mountain of... they're just nearly giving the ball away once again, and we know how dangerous they are up front. Puts a lot of pressure on Joey Antipas's shoulders. Here's Evans Rasike. Kamasoko picks the ball up, out to Lunga on the left-hand side. Ball gets knocked out. It's a throw-in. Lunga. Control, just not good enough. Gets cleared. Lunga picks the ball up on the left-hand side. Kicked away from him. Didn't control it properly. That's better play. Oh, great challenge in the midfield there coming in from Said. Does an exceptional job. This is a brilliant performance from Somalia. They deserve this, I tell you, just from how they've actually played. So difficult to play away from home. We saw Libya play all of their international matches away from home for so many years now that we just forget just how difficult it is not to play in front of your home fans. There's a chance, there's a good chance. Oh, the shot was high. It's they moved quickly there. Zimbabwe just couldn't get the shot in on target. And Libya, a fine example. They nearly qualified for the Africa Cup of Nations. Of course, went to that playoff match where they played South Africa. And that match wasn't played. It wasn't played in Tripoli, of course, because of civil unrest. They play the matches away from home. They played in Tunisia. South Africa managed to win the game. I think it finished 2-1. It was well deserved. 5 minutes of added time. 5 minutes, so still a chance to score an equaliser. Oh, that was well intercepted at the key moment there. And here's Zimbabwe pushing forward. Can they get the equaliser? Well, not like that, they won't. Throw in for Zim over on that far side, taken by Lunga. Gets the ball down into the corner. Well, again, Somalia. Looking very composed on the ball. They really are. That's better play. Zimbabwe, that's not the best through ball, is it? Too many Somalian players. If I was Bashir Hayford, I would just put every single player back behind the ball. Not take any risks for the last few minutes. But that's just not the kind of football that they play. Just look at that. They're just fighting for absolutely everything. Lunging for the tackle there to try and bring down the Zimbabwean player and captain Mudimu, who's pushed forward himself as well. Kevin Druids plays for in the Welsh Premier League. Here in the last chance saloon now. This is the free kick that's taken, and it's cleared immediately. Doesn't get past the first wall, and now they pick the ball up, and Somalia are on the attack. Oh, is that handball? I don't know. No, the referee says no. Came off his chest. Still with a chance. Here they go. This is Zimbabwe's final chance. That pass out wide was horrible. You've got to do better than that. Now Somalia are going through, but they've won it. They've managed to win this first leg. No, is it a free kick? It's not over yet. Oh, there's a yellow card, in fact. And Lunga's, that's his second yellow, isn't it? Well, I thought Lunga picked up a yellow card before. I thought that he just picked up another yellow, which means a red. So I think we'll have to look at that again. In any case, oh, Somalia pushing forward. And Lunga at fault again this time. Playing with fire, you don't really want to make mistakes like that, do you? He's had a really good game, but you just don't want to get yourself sent off so that you miss the next game, the return match in Bulawayo. That is just silly. Keep your composure. 1-0 is not the end of the world. Well, it's 5 minutes gone now, and it's up to the referee. He's on the verge of bringing an end to this clash. Oh, they're off again. Look at this, Somalia. And they got players there. Can they get themselves in front of the goalkeeper and get the shot in? No is the answer to that. Chipazize comes to the rescue. And at the other end, this is a chance, but ball has been kicked away. 6.5 minutes now. Here's Kumasoko. Ball comes out wide. It's Zimbabwe on the attack. They deliver a decent cross. There's the header. Did that come off a Somalian player? No, it's going to be a goal kick. Well, we are into the 97th minute now. 98th minute. And we've meant to have just 5 minutes of added time. Still waiting for the referee to blow the whistle to offer Somalia a 1-0 victory in the first leg of this two-legged qualifying match, preliminary round. And oh, there's a look at the watch. I think he's going to blow the whistle. There it is. There it is. What a remarkable victory. Somalia have produced an incredible win here against Zimbabwe. They're the lowest ranked team in Africa, along with Eritrea. This is just phenomenal. And this is a brilliant result. They'll take a lot from this. It doesn't mean qualification. It just means, well, a big victory against a big team for them. Because when you beat a team that's 90 places higher, better ranked than yourselves, I think that you can most definitely give yourself a pat on the back. A remarkable victory, and thoroughly deserved for Bashir Hayford. He's worked really hard to get his team ready for this match. They're playing away from home in Djibouti, and they produce a 1-0 victory against a team that, well, have won trophies. They've actually played in numerous big competitions like the Africa Cup of Nations, and they know what the big stage is all about, unlike Somalia. So congratulations. That's a great victory for Zimbabwe. I think that they'll probably turn this around in Bulawayo at Barbersfield Stadium. That will probably happen. But look at that, Bashir Hayford, the Ghanaian at the helm, is just getting all of the credit. Look at this. Can you imagine if this was at home in Mogadishu in front of 70,000 fans? It would be a different scenario. Fortunately, it's not, but that's the way it is. But this is still a magnificent victory for Somalia here against Zimbabwe. And there's the man who orchestrated the victory. Bye-bye.